Hello, I'm Joachim Duplessis. Welcome to the HTS Epoll. It's your opportunity to weigh in on the most pressing issues of the day. The debate over the proposed establishment of the minimum wage for St. Lucia continues to intensify. Late last week, the opposition went public with its criticism of the minimum wage, saying on one hand that it is insufficient and on the other that the minimum wage would be disruptive and burdensome for business. The Minimum Wage Commission says it considered a wide range of factors and interests before arriving at the $6.50 minimum hourly rate that is the lowest hourly rate that any worker in St. Lucia will be paid. Members of the public and various interest groups have been invited to submit comments, recommendations, and suggestions of the proposed minimum wage to the Commission ahead of the August 1st establishment of the minimum rate. So we ask, do you think the establishment of the minimum wage is a positive step for St. Lucia's workforce? We took to the streets to get your opinion, and here's what you had to say.
Probably this is a start. Any government that does not look after the welfare of its people is a government that does not care. I believe this government care about the welfare of its people. A people that, a government that will look after the welfare of its people would make sure that they are not being exploited. It's a start. Anybody would have loved for it to be higher, but I think we are starting at a good place. What I believe should happen is that every 3 years there should be a review. Not necessarily an increase, but a review. So once you put policies in place that every 3 years a review is taken, then the government is on the right track. I believe it's a start and they are on the right track. So nothing can go wrong about that.
Bon manière gouvernement mette because il primaire because c'est mon anti ka employé c'est mon ka underpay après ça gouvernement mette en
650 a place.
En 650 a place so that qui c'est mon ka en primaire pour now et plus tard il ka hausse. So c'est un bon chemin pour après un bon start pour minimum wage là.
Well, I think the 650 it a bit low, but then for a start, all right. But $8 would have been much better for a start.
I don't think it's a bad idea, but I just feel there should be some level of balance, when it comes to this, because I mean, for the government workers who's getting a steady pay, it's a good idea. But when you have construction on the decline and all this kind of thing going on, you're not getting the right amount of money you need to get for the jobs. When you survey the job for somebody and you're not getting the right amount of money, then there must be some level of flexibility, So I don't think it's a bad idea, but I also feel there must be maybe a review or something almost every 2 years, every year, just to make sure that everything is falling in place.
Yeah, I think it is good. It's better than nothing. It's better than how it was before. At least they've seen something. So at least when the year comes, if he see an improvement, he could review it and, see if he can make it better.
I believe it's a good initiative because at the end of the day, when you see persons working for $3-4 per hour, this is like washing hands and washing dirt. Right now, with this 650, I believe it's a good thing. Persons can see some benefits in the work, and at least the savings can be a little better. They could feed their children with some sorts of pride and understanding. I believe it's something good on the part of St. Lucians.
I think it's a good thing, 650 for an hour, because the Chinese, they are doing stupidness with our St. Lucians. I think it's a very good thing, 650 per hour.
Cost of living is rising. Everything is rising, so I think it's best the government try to do something else. Raise that it about $8 or $10 an hour. It will not pay at all. $6 an hour is not fair. All right? And that's my take on that. Pardon?
Don't you think that's a start, the 650?
Well, it's a start for school leavers, people who just leave school and they don't have a permanent, to say, get a degree at school, So if you're getting $6.50 an hour, it's for you. Well, for me, it's not right. For any school leavers, like people who just leave school, they can work for that. But not a grown-up like me.
C'est un bon commencement pour moun qui ka travailler en bas pour. Mais moi quoi, c'est différent. Because cost of living toujours ka monter. La nan chay moun ka souffrir en bas ça. Et puis si le gouvernement vient avec ça pour implémenter les travailleurs, moi quoi c'est un bon mot. Mais de temps en temps, moi quoi yon est pour bien garder pour make sure yon met en place pour moun ça comprendre bien.
Okay, I believe that it's not the best right now. It's not the best, but you know, when you're implementing something, you have to start somewhere. So you know, starting there at 650 and you know, looking at how it goes for other years, you just need to put mechanism in place that you know it can be reviewed and go higher till it reaches a stage where it can sustain everybody. Because the way it is right now, I mean, things are hard, and you know, a lot is needed for people to survive. So you must put something in place to help that. So starting there, you know, it's not the best, but I believe it can be a start and move on forward with it.
Thanks for those responses. Now to our new discussion. The final preparations are underway for St. Lucia's hosting of the 6 matches in the 2024 ICC Men's T20 World Cup. The games will be held in the Caribbean and North America. The Men's T20 World Cup, which opened in Texas last week, features 20 teams. Many are not very well known in the cricketing world, while others are seasoned campaigners like India, England, Australia, and of course the West Indies, which have been putting in some impressive performances in preparation for the major event. So we ask, does the West Indies stand a good chance of winning the ICC Men's T20 World Cup? Voting is easy. Just log on to htsstlucia.org and vote. Remember, our Epoll team is always on the go to get your responses as well. Watch the HTS News Force from 7 p.m. for the results and a new discussion.